Summer is here and the Pharr Memorial Library has so many activities planned for our children, for our teenagers, and our adults. How are you, ladies?
Good.
Joining us today, we have Ruby Ramirez and Paola del Ángel. Introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name is Ruby Ramirez. I'm the Children's Supervisor for the Pharr Memorial Library and the Development and Research Center.
My name is Paola del Ángel, and I'm the Supervisor for the Reference Department. And I'm in charge of teen and adult programming as well.
Well, we're really happy to have you here in the studio with us. For how long have you ladies been here with our Pharr Memorial Library?
Well, started in 2017, then took a break, and then came back on 2022, I believe. So, yes.
And Ruby, you work with the children, right?
Yes. So I actually started about 7 years ago, back in May 21st, 2018. And I started off in the children's division. I started off as a children's assistant. I moved through different departments, and then I came back as the children's supervisor this past year, in October.
And just throughout the year, every day you have multiple activities for everyone, all ages, right?
Yes.
But we do have our summer reading program coming up. Registration is still open and it starts June 8th. So who wants to start sharing all the details?
Yeah, let me start off with the children's program. So our children's summer reading program will start on June 8th, like you mentioned, all the way until July 12th, right? If I'm not mistaken, all the way until July 12th, so mid-July. And then we have registration for anyone as young as a newborn, all the way to children's going into 6th grade. We have them categorized in different categories, right? So the reading program is adjusted to their reading level. Obviously, our little toddlers can't read by themselves, so it's more of mom doing the work or parents, guardians, whoever, doing the work with the child and just reading to them. And then we have our preschoolers, then we have our 1st through 2nd, 3rd through 4th, 5th through 6th. And it's basically they have to just report on what they're reading, describe what they liked about the book, describe what they understood from the book. The requirement for the program is that they only have to read 20 books through the span of those dates in order for them to get invited to our party.
20 books.
Yes, just 20 books.
Perfect. Okay. And they can check out those books at the library. So step number 1, if you want to participate, make sure you have a library card, right?
Yes.
So what's the process for that?
So the process for getting a library card, if your parent or your guardian already has a library card, it's a lot easier. The parent or guardian's library card doesn't have to be from the Pharr Memorial Library. It can be from everywhere. But the child's library card does have to be from the Pharr Memorial Library. So the parent does have to have a library card. In order to get a library card, they have to have any form of ID and a bill or any mail that goes to their address, just to prove that, they are who they say they are and they are receiving mail. Those are the basic requirements for the parent to get one. And then after that, the child's automatically added onto the parent's account.
Okay, so make sure you get your library card before June 8th.
Yes.
And Ruby, working with children, why do you think it's so important now that school is out for them to stay involved, stay active, and continue the reading? How does that help them?
Something that happens to children a lot during the summer is that they start losing the information that they learned throughout the school year. In order to prevent that, in order to prevent the summer slide, as it's called, children kind of have to stay academically active, right? Reading, doing any form of STEM activities, any form of crafting activities. So their minds continue to be active. And when they go back to school, they don't lose that 20 to 30% of the knowledge that they learned throughout the previous school year. And they're not falling behind or anything like that, which is why we do our summer reading program.
That's perfect. And just for parents to be aware, can parents drop off children so they can read? They always need to be supervised. That's important to mention, correct? Parents always need to be present.
Yeah. So we're not like a Parks and Rec type of program, right? You don't drop off your children. We encourage all parents to come to the library and be with the child. We are a family place library, so we do encourage parents to even do the activities that we have, the daily activities with the child. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know throughout the year we have like the toddler time, right? Where you read with the toddlers.
Yes.
Very special bonding time with the parents. So again, parents need to always be present. Yes. You don't need to be reading at the library. No. You just pick up your forms, take them home, read your own books, read books from the library, maybe from your siblings. Yes. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so you don't actually have to, be registered to our program in order to attend our activities. But if you do just want to do our summer reading program, which is the reading portion of it, you don't have to read books from our library. You don't even have to read books that are from your grade level, right? We understand that children sometimes have reading disabilities or they're not there yet. And we don't ever want a child to feel discouraged or even afraid of reading. So this is why we kind of remolded and restructured our reading program to kind of encourage children to continue loving the act of reading.
Exactly. And do you help them out with that? Maybe choosing the kind of level they need to be at? Or is that something they bring from school?
Yeah. So let's say we are a public library, so not all our books have the reading level on there, and they're not categorized by reading level either, because again, we're a public library. But let's say child and parent or guardian like a certain set of books. They can always come over to our help desk, and one of our children's assistants will help out and see, okay, this is, we'll look it up. We'll see what grade level this is, even what points you can get with the AR program that a lot of public schools have. So, yeah.
Okay, and then what is the big party for all those that read the 20 books?
Okay, so we host a big party at our Pharr Aquatic Center every year. That one's happening on June 25th. And we're not only going to announce our top summer readers per category and per grade in that party, but you also get snacks, there's music, there's a lot of fun activities overall, and it's a free entry. Toddlers end up getting their entry, the taller entry, and then 2 additional tickets or invitations, and that's typically for parents to go, so we can just ensure that there's 2 eyes on toddlers at all times. And then for the rest of the children, they get 1 and then an additional invitation for a parent guardian to attend.
Okay, great. So make sure to register. This is for children up to 6th grade.
Yes.
But when we think of reading, we think of kids, right? Mm-hmm. But it's also so important that we continue reading as adults, right? Mm-hmm. So we have Paola, who takes care of that section of the library for teenagers and our adults. So Paola, what can you tell us about your program during the summer for the older ones?
We just want to make it approachable to adults and teens, because we know that as we grow up, sometimes you just lose the interest or you get busier, right? You get busier, exactly. So we want to make it as easy as possible for them to come back to books and enjoy. Pretty much for us is promoting the joy of reading. Mm-hmm. So we only ask for 10 books, not necessarily like a lot, 10 easy books. They don't have to be necessarily your typical 300-page novels, although they could for those who enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But we also have like different types of books, for example, nonfiction. Typically, when we refer to books, we think of fiction, but also there's like nonfiction books about cars, about exercising, nutrition, cookbooks. So there's a lot of books for everybody. Yeah, there's a book for every person, different, And so there's a variety for that. There's manga, there's comic books as well. Everything counts for us.
How many books do we have at the library? Do we know?
Oh, I think you might know more than me.
That exact number, but we
should have a book per resident for Pharr. So that I know is
more than 70,000 books for sure.
That's amazing.
That's a lot of books.
Yeah, that's our basic criteria. Mm-hmm. We have to have a book per resident
for every resident. Mm-hmm. That's perfect. So same thing, registration or the program starts June 8th. Registration is already open, and it runs up until July 12th.
The 12th. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's true.
And I know we have some prizes, right, for every book they read.
They win a prize per book read. So that's as simple as that. They can collect up to 10 prizes. And then if they're welcome to read beyond that, but they won't get any more prizes. Although our top readers do get special recognition and a party, especially for teens. That happens for teens. They do get a pool party as well.
Yes.
So, and then prizes as well for top ones. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can just enroll and register and just read as many books as you wish.
Depending on your schedule. Yes. And what are the benefits you see, Paola? I know it helps with your mental health. I mean, books can take you anywhere. Right?
Yes. So books are great. And I brought this little mini infographic from Scholastic, but it applies to children and everybody, right? Like teens and adults as well. So it says here that it increases your knowledge and vocabulary by 50%.
Wow.
That you can actually lengthen your life up to 2 years just for reading.
2 years just
for reading. And then lower stress by 68%. So
we all have to start reading a little bit more, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and maybe if your home is too loud, you can always stop by the library. What are your hours?
So Monday through Thursday, we're open from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. Fridays we're open from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Actually, Fridays and Saturdays. And then Sundays we're open from 1 to 6.
Okay, yeah, because there are many that maybe they don't want to read at home. They want to stop by and just have a quiet space.
Exactly. And people can do that. They can go there and just relax, have a fun time maybe with the kids, maybe by themselves. They can get a study room for quietness. They can also just engage there and participate in one of our programs.
Yeah.
Do you need to reserve those study rooms?
Yes, you do, up to a day in advance, but typically you don't need anything. You don't even have to be show a credential or anything like that, an ID or a card. All you have to do is just give us a call. We just need a name and a number.
And let's say we're too busy at the Pharr Memorial Library, we still have all these daily activities and the program running at our Development and Research Center. The hours for there are a little different. You know, Monday through Thursday, it's from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Friday, Saturday, 9 to 6. And then on Sundays, it's from 1 to 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, and Ruby, so you have the summer reading program, but you also have some activities.
Yes, so we're
that are special just for the summer, right?
Yes, so we have, during the span of our reporting period, which is going to be June 8th all the way until July 12th, we're going to have special activities for children just to encourage them to continue coming to the library. On Sundays, we're going to be playing movies. So we're going to have movies and popcorn on Sundays. On Mondays, we're going to have our Musical Mondays, which is going to be little classes where children will learn how to play a little instrument or create an instrument themselves. And then Tuesdays, we have our art technique classes. So tying it back into our summer reading program theme of the year, right, which is Color Our World, we wanted to not only teach children a regular crafting activity, but we wanted to teach them actual art techniques. So that's what we're doing on Tuesday. Wednesdays, we're going to typically have a local author come by and not only read the child a book, but we're also going to have them do a little workshop with the child. So either teaching them how to write a book, how to illustrate, how to, what even brought them to the brainstorming process of creating a book for all those future authors. And then on Thursdays, we're going to have challenge days. Which are going to be various game activities to kind of get the kids a little active at the library. And then on Fridays, we have our culinary classes. So we're going to teach children how to dress a plate and do different snacking activities. And then on Saturdays, we have our Super Saturdays, which is where we bring special guests. One of them this year is our Fragile Planet Wildlife Refuge that is all the way in Los Fresnos. So if kids can't go all the way that way, we're bringing them to us.
Wow, we have so much planned for this summer, and all of this is completely free. So we really want our community to take advantage, especially the children.
Yes.
We want them to stay involved during the summer. Sometimes parents are trying to keep them busy, right?
Yes. Yeah, and for these activities, we have them 3 times a day, or from Monday through Friday, we have them from 3 to 2 times a day. And then we do have special activities for our toddlers. So toddler time isn't going to go anywhere. We have dedicated times for them.
Stays throughout the year.
Yes.
Okay, registrations for this. Can we just show up that day of the activities? Do we need to register? Walk us through that.
Yeah, so we do have registration. We're going to allow 30 kids to attend these classes. And because we have them at different times a day, we encourage parents to go in person and register them in the beginning of the day because they do tend to get packed. Although, even though we have 30 spots available and let's say those fill up, we encourage parents to at least show up at least 15 minutes before so we can do a roll call, take them upstairs where we're going to we reserved our North Star room, which is one of our meeting rooms at the library. We're going to take them upstairs, give parents about 10 minutes to get there on time. So let's say the class starts at 2. They're not by 2, we'll give them until 2:10. And then we do have a separate list for those children who are in the waiting list to possibly attend a class.
And get their spot. Okay, so we have the instruments, we have art. Are these staff from the Pharr Memorial Library?
Yes, so so our very own staff is taking care of these classes. The only ones that they won't be attending or, leading is going to be our Wednesday classes, which are going to be our authors leading those, our local authors, and then our Saturday classes, which is going to be our special guest classes.
That's amazing. Yeah. Anything else you want to let our community know? Any phone numbers we want to provide?
Ooh. 956-402-4650. And depending on, you can request to talk to the children's department or the reference department, and we can give you more information.
Reference
and then
for
just
teens and adults.
For you to have fun and enjoy reading pretty much. And it's not a hassle necessarily. If you have any questions, just let us know. But we're pretty lenient and flexible when it comes to enrolling you and giving you access to participate, because this is for you. We do it all for you, for the community.
Yeah. But I also wanted to mention that as children are reading, they are going to be gaining book coins. This is something that Pharr started, and I think other people have kind of gained attraction to this. But we started off with books in previous years, and now we're turning this into a digital currency. So as children read, they'll be getting book coins, which they're able to spend in our Children's Smart Shop, which is our very own little store where only the child who reads and gains those points is able to, buy things with them. It's also teaching children throughout the summer about financial literacy.
That is perfect. What kind of products or items do we have?
So we have anything from little tumbler cups to posters to books to snacks, tote bags, anything that they kind of want to buy at their own.
And that will motivate them to read.
Yes, right? To continue reading.
20 books for children and 10 for teens and adults. Yes. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. And again, parents, register your children. The program starts June 8th, and we hope to see you there.